Looking at a 3/4 shaft and a 5/8 hole. So what we're going to do is look around and see if we can find the right one.
Drew calls around to find the right size pulley, finally getting one from a friend.
There it is.
With the busted steering box out, Seth is ready for the salvaged one.
Did initial cleaning on it, got the hoses pulled. Gonna do a couple last things on it, remove the old rag joint, get rid of this arm, and then prep it for paint.
They're kind of hard to get to. These things get kind of heavy after a while. And it'd be easier to maneuver it into position with both my hands free. All right, should be no problem now. I got the rear section of this front drive shaft in place, coming out of the transfer case, and now it's starting to connect to the front axle. I put some tape around the cups to keep them in place because, you know, these things, they can slide off of here. It fits nice, and throw these U-bolts in it. All right, that's it. It's done. Time to put the tires back on it and take it for a spin. Oh my God, what'd you do?
What?
Just kidding.
Seth drops his newly painted salvage steering box into his 73 long bed.
Sweet. Bingo.
Seth then installs the aftermarket steering arm with the new knuckles above the coil springs to his friend's used pulley.
Easy peasy. Tight fit. Torque these guys down to 100 pounds.
Drew begins customizing the tie rods that fit Seth's Chevy while Seth connects the new pump to the salvage pulley.
So I've got the new power steering pump, made it up with the old brackets and one of the old hoses. Switched out to the right kind of pulley. So trying to connect the steering rod back into the steering box. Fun. So that's one way to do it. Just straight drop in. Tie rod right over the hole. After checking it for movement, it's gonna be fine. It's not gonna bind up at all. And when you wedge up against a rock, the whole thing should be able to pivot sideways, kind of crab. But just the ability to go into rocks and be able to like hit them and then pivot off of them, it's gonna be great. Sweet. Now we've got the new knuckles, new steering arms, and our new tie rod mounted up and over the springs out of harm's way. Now I'm going to drop this hydraulic ram into position. Space it out and give it full range of motion when we articulate this thing. A lot of bubbles coming up. When out playing on the trails and whatnot, the short drag link I had with the original four-wheel drive system would bind up in moments of flex and articulation and not allow me to make maneuvers I'd want to make. I made the decision to go ahead and get a crossover steering setup after seeing a lot of my friends running it and having a lot better results on the trail. It should be good to go now until they alleviate the problem with steering I had.
Coming up on Truck Stop, we'll see if Seth's salvage steering box and Dave's salvage drive shaft hold up on the rolling dunes of Pismo Beach. Welcome back to Truck Stop. We're back at Pismo Beach, and it's time to check out the So what changes do you notice with the drive shaft?
Well, I'm driving four-wheel drive now.
And how long do you think it will last, though?
Well, the drive shaft should last forever, I hope.
You don't have any concerns because you got it at the salvage yard?
No, looks pretty solid.
All right, well then, job well done. What's next for the rig?
Well, after seeing a guy's truck here at the beach, I want to do something to floor my bed, something all steel.
All right, well, it could be another trip back to the salvage yard, right?
Yeah, maybe.
All right, but for now, job well done, man. Nice work. I was looking forward to evaluating Seth's new mods from behind the wheel. All right, Seth, let's see if all your hard work paid off. Nice! I really see a difference in the steering. It's so easy to turn, I can do it with one hand now.
Yeah. And you can turn to the right.
Yeah.
This is a fun truck.
Oh, yeah.
It rides like a tank, though.
So do you have any concerns because we got this at the salvage yard?
The biggest concern I have with it is the seals inside the steering box could go. Who knows if that was a component that went bad. But that just means I gotta go back and get another one. Not a big deal.
With the salvage steering box and the crossover steering installed, there was nothing left to do but to have some fun in the sand with Seth's 73 long bed.
There's a little bit of air.
Oh, sorry? What was that?
That's why I see me antenna. Sticking to the ground. That's awesome.
It's a source of pride for these guys when they can head to the junkyard, dig out some old parts, and buy them at a discount. For Seth and Dave, breaking parts and replacing them is almost as fun as riding on the dunes. By hitting the salvage yard instead of the local auto parts store and just putting in a few hours of work, Seth and Dave were able to save $765. With Seth's steering box replaced, his long bed's handling was vastly improved. And for a measly $50, Dave now had four-wheel drive. Wow, did you see that driving? This truck is a blast. And these guys keep their trucks running by any means necessary, whether getting parts at a salvage yard or aftermarket. The Axles of Evil have taught us that anyone on a budget can get the most from their rigs. I'm Rebecca Brandt for Truck Stop, and we'll see you next time.